you are going to pay a price. Now, whether you pay that price now or whether you pay that price later, that price is going to be paid. Paying the price now means doing what you need to do right now to build that version of yourself that's going to create the life that you desire in the future. And there's a reward for paying that price up front. And then there's people who choose to pay it later. Those are people who say, I'm in my 20s. My 20s should be spent having fun. And those people pay a price, but they pay it later. Right now, they're having fun. Right now, they're carefree, but they're destroying their future. And by the time they get to be 35 or 40 or 50 years old, they're going to be pinned into an existence that they cannot tolerate.
But I have good news. Nothing hard lasts forever. There's only 3 things that can happen. You either quit, it gets easier, or you get better. So no matter what, it always ends. You only lose when you quit before you see it all the way through. And I think that's incredibly encouraging. So no matter how hard whatever it is that you're doing is, but no matter how hard it is, you either quit, it gets easier because something changes externally, or you get harder, something changes internally. But no matter what, it will end. Think about it like you're mining for gold, right? You're chiseling away underground and you've got this pile of gold. You don't know how far away it is, but it's underground and you're digging towards it. This difficulty of swinging the pickaxe can end when 1, you walk out of the mine and say. The second is that all of a sudden you hit a soft patch and then you're like, oh my God, I'm digging so much faster now. This is great. And then you get to the gold. Or you just start swinging the axe harder because you get more muscled, you get more efficient with your movements, and you just keep chiseling away, even if it goes from dirt to rock. You just keep chiseling away at a slower pace, but you eventually break through and get there. But in all 3 of those scenarios, hard doesn't last forever.
Everyone talks about balance. If you can balance your life, you're good. If you can make sure that your work and play are balanced, life isn't going to be about balance. You'll find that if you find someone that forces you to sit on the teeter-totter of life and you find your feet dangling, you will have no solid ground. No, you're not here to take sides. You're here for the takeover. It's time for you to go after every one of your dreams in such a way that no one can question what it is you want. You want it all. Not for you, but just for everything that comes after you, for your bloodline and for those who had the right to trust your mind, those who understood that there was something different about you. You're doing it for them. For everyone that believes that no is an absolute, you have to break through and show them that on the way through all those no's is an absolute yes. But it must bring out your best. And if you're not willing to be tested, you're not willing to have a testimony. But if you can get a testimony, it means you have a story. And when you tell that story, here comes the glory.
For those of you out there going through tough times right now, facing adversity and some uncertainty in your life, I just want to remind you that you've had big goals, you've had big dreams, you've had big ambitions. And when God or the universe, whoever your higher power is about to set you up to achieve and receive those big goals, dreams, and ambitions that you've set yourself up for, he's got to first test you. He's got to first put you up against adversity. Adversity is the resistance that you build your mental and emotional and gratitude muscles against, right? We go to the gym, you work out, you build your physical muscles. Don't forget that we have to build our mental, emotional, and gratitude muscles so that when we receive the blessings, when we receive the good things that are to come, that you can appreciate them better. So the adversity you're experiencing now, there's a reason behind it. Keep pushing through and you will receive the benefits, but it's never on your timeline.
You know what's the worst thing for your heart and your mind is when you fail, when you get rejected, when you fall, is to complain about it. Because now what you did is you just gave complaining life. And it's funny, when you give complaining life, what does it do? It attracts other individuals that complain.
Find meaning in the struggle, and the struggle will become meaningful. Find meaning in the challenge, and you'll start to become grateful for the challenges that arise in your life. And what's the meaning? The meaning is to develop you into the best version of yourself. The meaning is for you to grow and evolve. Find that meaning in everything that you go through. And it's not always gonna make sense to you on why you're going through this certain thing. Finding meaning does not mean making sense of it. So often when we try to make sense of everything that happens to us, we create more resistance, more frustration. Embrace it and find meaning in it. So I'm going to embrace what this is. But I'm open to learning. I'm open to the growth. I'm open to the shifts that can come from this. And I'm gonna assign meaning to the situation as an opportunity for me to develop.
People want their life to be free of struggle and conflict. They want a smooth path in front of them. When you face adversity or things aren't going quite well, you have to reassess who you are. You have to reassess your opinions. You have to say, maybe I'm not doing this the right way. Maybe my patterns of responding in the past aren't working out. Maybe there's something wrong with me. How can I learn from this moment? How can I get past this particular obstacle? If you never have failure, if you never have conflict, you are never going to develop yourself in life. So conflict is something you must welcome as a test and a challenge and a way to strengthen yourself up, because life is harsh, life is difficult. And if you're not tough in this world, you're gonna have a life of pain.
Comfort zone is killing you, and it is painful to watch. And it's not even a big dramatic battle that you're losing, but a slow, silent, unnoticed death of your potential. And in some ways that's even more sad. It's like watching someone blow out a candle for the final time. No explosion, just darkness. Every time you hit snooze, every time you break a promise to yourself, every time you choose comfort over discipline, another piece of you fades. Until one day there is nothing left. No fire, no drive, just the sour aftertaste of regret and bitterness. But here's the thing, you're not dead yet. The flame is not out. You've still got fight left in you. And guess what? There is nothing better than a comeback story. Start now, small steps every day. I promise you, as soon as you gain some momentum, it will get easier. Hell, it will become fun. Just promise me you will not let the flame go out.
This is the idea that most people walk down this path that isn't really theirs. They're handed this default path, this default definition of success, these default settings of meaning, and accept them as their own and march blindly down that path. And they wake up in 50 years and maybe wonder what the hell they just did with their one life that they got a shot at. You are the hero in your hero's journey. That is not a grandiose statement, that is true. You get one shot at all of this, so engage in something that matters to you.
I like it when the water is warm in the shower, but I built the muscle that allows me to turn it this way to make it cold, to build that muscle of doing the hard thing. I never want to go for the run. I like how I feel after. And I have to force myself to do it. I have to push myself to do it. And I've built the muscle that not just pushes myself to do it, but also pushes myself while I'm doing it to go further or to go faster. And it's that same muscle that I draw on when I find my attention wandering. You build this muscle, this discipline inside you that you can draw on. The Stoics would call this the command of oneself. Seneca says, no one is fit to rule who is not first master of themselves. The greatest empire is command of ourselves.
Confidence is not something you can fake. Arrogance is faked. It's people pretending to be somebody they're not or better than they are because they know they haven't done the reps. See, confident people don't have to walk around telling you they're ready because they look ready. You can just tell they're ready because they've actually gone through the reps and they truly are. Life is the same way as the battlefield. Challenges are coming. And if I do the reps, if I do the hard work before I get to those challenges, I'm going to be confident. And I'm going to be ready for those challenges. Now, I'm not going to go out and actually look for hard things to do. I'm going to try to do what I want to do and meet my goals, but it doesn't have to be harder just to make it feel like I've done more. But if they come, I want to be ready. And I get ready and I gain that confidence by doing the hard work when nobody else is willing to. By doing the hard work after hours. By getting up every single day knowing that if I go through the motions and the reps and the rehearsals, I can be ready and confident when challenges happen. When you do them now and you gain that confidence, that success is going to continue to grow. Go out every single day knowing you're ready for the fight or you're ready for the challenge because you've done the reps and you have the confidence, and let life bring it because you know you're gonna win.
We're not able to think. The most powerful weapon in the world, we walk around with it. It's our mind, it's our brain. You have to be able to go into a very dark place in your mind and figure who you are. Go back to what you want to do, what's your purpose. We can't figure our purpose out or why we're here or why we're even born or whatever because it's so loud in our mind. We don't have any quiet time with ourselves to sit back and say, what do I really want? There's so many different dialogues in our head that we can't think. So my biggest thing is you have to be alone in a very dark place in your mind to think about what is important to you.
It says in that manual, it says, other than death, all failure is psychological. Other than death, all failure is psychological. Think about that. Just think about that. This failure, this upset, this catastrophe. If you aren't dead, then it's just psychological. It's in your head. Now, this does not mean that you won't lose some battles, because you will. We all will.
The biggest trophy that I ever got in my entire life was really figuring out me. It's not about money. It's not about fame. It's not about being accepted by your peers and everybody else. It's about figuring out who I am and being happy with who I am. Even though I'm going to be judged for all these things.
Nobody understands you, because how could they? If you spend your whole life trying to be like nobody else, work harder than the average person, care more than anybody else would, what makes you think they'll understand? What you're looking for is rare, and same goes for me. And it might sound like bad news that this understanding you're looking for isn't easy to come by, but that's exactly why you want it. You know you could have the run-of-the-mill life that's easy to get, but it's not fulfilling. So recognize that more value requires more responsibility, and that responsibility is genuinely something to cherish.
If you don't change what you're doing and how you do it, nothing else will change.